YouTube, what's up? It's Kiara. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is just gonna be a little story time of the time I went into labor on my birthday. Yes, my birthday. Me and my baby have the same birthday. You guys have yet to meet him. I promise you it'll be soon. Maybe not. Who knows? So the night before my birthday, I literally started nesting. I got everything ready in my room. I got all of his clothes together and put away, organized by size, put all of his diapers up on the top shelf in my closet, and packed my hospital bag, or put everything in my hospital bag. I had everything literally all laying out. I just had to put it in there. What else did I do? Which is really weird, I got in the shower and I braided up my hair into 2 braids, which I usually never do, but for some reason I did. I really don't know why, but I did that. And I went to Mike's house, my baby's father's, and we just stayed the night there. And literally I woke up at 8 in the morning having contractions. So I was like, okay, he wasn't up yet, but I was just like breathing through them. They kind of hurt, but they weren't that bad. And then it got to a point probably around like 10 o'clock. It started to get kind of unbearable. So I was like, this must be just Braxton Hicks, because my birthday is March 3rd. His due date was March 22nd. So I was like, I know he's not coming this early, and I know he's not coming on my birthday. After that, I got up, I got in the shower, I just laid in the shower for a little bit. And usually if you look it up, Braxton Hicks, it's like you go lay in the shower under some warm water, and if they go away, they go away. But I was still having contractions in the shower. I can still feel them. They were still pretty painful. On a scale to 1 to 10, they were probably like a 5 going on 6. Got out the shower, I put on some sweatpants, I had on a black shirt just like this, but a t-shirt, and then I think I had on my black Nike sweatpants, I'm not sure, or I just threw on some leggings. By this time Mike was up. He was laying down watching TV, and I'm literally just like rocking back and forth on my exercise ball, and he's like, are you having contractions? I was like, yes. And so it kind of like woke him up, or like made him panic a little. And he was like, okay, so when do you need to go to the hospital? And I was like, well, if they're consistent for an hour, 5 minutes apart or closer, then I need to go to the hospital, which they were. And so he started counting to them. Every time I had a contraction, I would like squeeze his stomach so he can feel the pain too, because I'm not the only one gonna go feeling this pain. He needs to feel it too. So I was squeezing his stomach just like this every single time, and every time it came and went, he kind of like timed out how far apart they were, and he's like, okay, I don't really know, but let me see. So he downloaded an app, you guys. He downloaded an app on his phone and literally would just time it every single time I had a contraction. And so it wasn't even like 5 minutes into us downloading the app, the app was like, you need to go to the hospital. And so he called my mom and was like, the hospital bag is still at your house, can you bring it up to the hospital? We're about to be on our way up there in a minute. And she's like, okay. He tried giving me the phone, and I just couldn't talk. I was so irritated. And so we get to the hospital, we find parking, but we had to like go up the parking ramp. I'm pretty sure we parked on Fuller 3. We parked, he got me a wheelchair, and we had to go from level 3 in the parking ramp down to the main floor. And he was wheeling me along. I swear it took so long. I was getting so irritated. If I can insert a video, I will put it right there on the screen. I think that's enough room to the lobby. We had to go up some another set of elevators to get to the birthing floor, and we checked in, and that took forever too. She's like, sign here, sign here, sign here, sign there, fill out this. And I was just like trying to stay calm. The contractions were getting more painful and closer together. It was not good. I literally was freaking out. And so I got done signing everything, filling everything out. We went and sat in the waiting room for probably like 2 or 3 minutes, and she's like, okay, come on back. But I was the only one that had to come back. Mike had to wait. I was in the room. She hooked up all the monitors and everything, like the baby monitors that goes on your belly. And I had to start an IV because I forgot why. Okay, so I just wanted to insert this here because I didn't really say it right. To the first room, the monitoring room, it was Mike and my mom. They had came back at the same time, and then a couple minutes later, Mike's mom had came, and only 2 people can be in the monitoring room at a time. And so my mom left, and it was just her and Mike, and Mike was like rubbing my hair, like, okay, breathe, and like helping me through the contractions. And his mom was back there, like every time we bring it up, she literally just laughs. And I was like, okay, I was kind of like super freaked out and scared and concerned for you, because my contractions at that point, they were getting like super close together. I mean, like back to back. It was ridiculous. And I was just screaming, and she was like standing around like, okay, like looking for the nurse, like, okay, I don't think this is normal. She needs help. She needs something. And I was like, your mom can handle this. And she left and sent my mom back in. It was so funny. But after that, then that's when they checked me to see how far I was dilated. Okay, back to the video. In our room before you can actually get moved to the room where I gave birth. Ew, that was a nasty motion. Gave birth. So we were in there. I was having contractions. By this time, it was getting so worse, like super painful. On a scale to 1 to 10, they were a freaking like 15. They hurt. But I had my nurse in this ear, my mom, and then Mike was, I could tell he was like freaking out. He was at the end of the bed just watching me. And I'm gonna insert another video right here if I can. Soon as he like figured out what was going on and like how to comfort me, he like came and was like, Kiara, you can do this, just breathe. He was rubbing my hair, just being supportive and nice. And they're like, okay, it's time for you to get checked to see how far you've dilated. When I tell you, this was the most uncomfortable feeling ever. Literally, I was screaming my head off. First, every time I had a contraction, they were super strong and super close together. So I would have a contraction, it would go away for like 5 or 6 seconds, and then it'll come back. And it literally, if you looked at the screen, you can see like it just bouncing back and forth like that. It was terrible. But I was screaming, ow. I didn't know what else to scream, so I was like, ow, ow, ow. For us to check you to see how far. And my little probably unwanted details, my cervix, it goes like back and like to the right, and so she couldn't find it, and so she was just digging around down there, and I was screaming. It hurt so bad. She's like, I can't find it. Went and got another nurse, and eventually they got a doctor to try to check it. She's like, okay, you're at a 4, you're gonna be monitored for a couple more like minutes, and then we'll send you back to your room. And I'm like, okay, bet. And probably another like, I don't know, time was not, I couldn't like recall time too well, but I was probably there another like 10 minutes, and sent me back to the room I was going to give birth in. And as soon as I was in there, I got my epidural, which was so scary. The lady came in and she was like, okay, you have to sit super still. Mike left the room and it was just my mom, and you have to like crunch. Let me see. You have to like, you're sitting on the bed like this, and you have to like crunch your back so they can see like spine and like where to insert the needle. And so you're sitting on the back like this. You have to sit completely still, breathe through your contractions. If you move, you can be paralyzed or die. I don't know, something like that, but it's super dangerous if you move. So I'm just like screaming. And I was like, I don't want it anymore. I don't want it. And the whole time, from me checking in to the hospital and me moving and getting my epidural, my eyes were closed the whole time. It was so painful. I couldn't even open my eyes. And but as soon as she got done with the epidural, it was probably like minute or 2 minute process. My eyes opened, I was smiling. I was like, let's do this. We're about to have a baby. Like, my little legend is on his way. Let's go. I was so excited after that. And I got my epidural. Mike came back into the room. As soon as I got my epidural, my water broke. And when I was in the other room, I was like, I have to pee. And they're like, no, it's probably just the pressure of the baby down there. You probably really don't have to pee. But I got up and went to the bathroom anyways, and they were right, I didn't have to pee. As soon as I got my epidural, my water broke, and I was like, I think I just peed myself or my water broke. And the nurse like lifted up the blanket, and it was, my water broke, and she checked me. And so I couldn't feel anything down there, so she checked me and it wasn't painful, and so it was really just a breeze. And she's like, you're at about a 6. She either said 6 or 8, I really can't remember. But she's like, it's not gonna be too much longer until he's here. So I'm like, okay, bet. But she was like kind of feeling around. Like, she said one of the sides wasn't like dilating too well, and so she moved me to like lay on my side and put a little peanut ball in between my legs to help like evenly dilate. I think that's the right term or whatever. So I was flipping back and forth on both of my sides, moving the peanut ball, and we were just chilling. And then my mom, the whole entire time, my sister had her baby the week before, literally a week before, and I know she was gonna birth fast. Like, her sister, she couldn't even get into her birthing room fast enough, and literally almost had my nephew in the hallway. And my mom kept telling him, like, they birth fast, I birth fast, they're going to birth fast. And she's like, okay, I guess so. And I don't know what time this was, but I had him at 4, almost 5. And she came back into the room, and I was like, okay, it feels like I'm ready to push. And she's like, are you sure? And she's like, if you say I think, then I'm gonna give you some more time to fully dilate, and I'm gonna come back. And so she left. My mom was like, just do a little bit of practice pushes, just push like you're about to poop. And so I was doing that, and probably like an hour or 30 minutes, she had came back and was like, have you been pushing? And I was like, yeah, I just been doing like a little bit of practice pushes, like small pushes. And she's like, I thought so, I seen it on the monitor. And I was like, I think this girl is pushing. And by that time, she was like, I'm gonna go call. And as soon as she said, like, she couldn't even get called out, she turned around and the doctor was right there. And she's like, perfect timing, it's time, like, we're about to have this baby. So they geared up, they got everything ready, and they put the little leg holders on, or like up on the side of the beds. I put my legs up, and and just went for it. You push every single time you have a contraction. With the epidural, you still can feel your contractions, but they're not painful. So you can feel like every time your stomach is tightening. Having a contraction, I would push, and then it would stop, so I would like relax, have another one, push, and then by that time his head was already I wish I could put a picture up, but it would be against the law. But his head was already like basically like out, like the crown of his head. My doctor was like, okay, his head is like almost out, and it was like probably like that much out. She was like, if you just want to push right now and get it out and not wait for the next contraction, do so. So I was like, and his head is out. And I probably went through one more set of contractions and he was out. And she had put him on like my belly, and I was just trying to like inch him up, and she's like, she's still attached, he's still attached, wait, he's still attached. And I was like, oh my gosh, I just want my baby. I was so happy and excited. Okay, so you can choose whether or not you want the mirror so you can see like what's going on down there while you're giving birth. I had the mirror so I can see everything. I don't know, I'm just weird like that. I could see everything that happened and was going on. So my belly, and I was trying to inch him up, and he's like, she's still attached, she's still attached. You gotta wait until like they wait probably like 5 minutes for like all the nutrients to go into or finish going into him from the placenta before they cut the cord. And Mike was trying to like look at him, look at what was going on, and he was just so excited. But he cut the cord, and then I finally like got him up to me and was just cuddling him and just total bliss. It was so amazing, just an amazing experience. I don't know what made me look down, but I finally looked into the mirror, because once you have your little baby and you're holding them, your legs are still up and they're still doing whatever they're doing down there. And I had looked up at the perfect time and watched her pull out my placenta. It was so gross. I was like, ew. She's like, oh, the mirror's still up? I was like, yeah. And she just moved the mirror. And it's like, they put it in like a little bowl, and they showed Mike and was like, do you want to eat it? Because, you know, you can make your placenta into like pills, or like it's really healthy, they say, to eat. And he's like, no. And that was it. They stitched me up. I had like 1 or 2 tears, and that was it. And the doctor, as soon as he cuts the cord, you guys do, or I did skin to skin, and the moms do, they like just pull down your nursing gown and have the baby on there while they finish like doing whatever they're doing down there. And they do that for an hour. Then the baby goes and gets weighed. He was 5 pounds 11 ounces, 22.5 centimeters long. So he was a very tiny baby. He came 3 weeks early, and he was very long. Mike is 6'2", 6'3", and I'm 5'11". Did that sound right? 5'4". I'm 5'4". Where did I get that from? Who knows? But I'm 5'4". Skinny and lengthy, so that's what he was. So after they do all the measurements and everything, wrapped in a blanket, and the dad can do skin to skin. So Mike did skin to skin. He was so happy, like a smile didn't leave his face that entire time. It was so cute. I was just watching them. I was in my bed just chowing down the cafeteria food. I was so hungry. I didn't eat that whole day. By time I did eat, it was probably around 6 o'clock, I'm pretty sure, because you can't eat with an epidural, and you just can't eat in general while you're laboring, because they don't want you to throw up and like whatever. So I was just chowing down, just watching them. I was like in my bed right here. They were all the way over there across the room in the corner, like measuring him, and he was doing skin to skin. So I'm just like eating my food, watching. It was finally time for me to go to mother baby, which is the third room and the third and final room that you're in. They had to take the epidural out, and oh my gosh, can you just like pump up some medicine in me real fast while you do it? She's like, no, there's really no point to. I'm like, okay. And so I like just turned around, and she just was like zoop, and it like pulled her out. And she's like, do you think you can walk to the bed, to the wheelchair? And I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure I can. I could like move my legs a little bit, but I couldn't feel it, which is really weird. From the bed to the wheelchair, and then at my hospital, at least that I went to, when you have a baby, they're like, okay, button, and like a cute little lullaby goes throughout the entire hospital. And I don't know, it's just something cute and positive that they do. Like, a little angel was just born. I don't know the beat, but something like that. No, we had just gotten into mother baby, and literally by that time everyone left. It was just me and Mike. We spent the night at the hospital that night and one more night, and then we left, and we got to take our little Leggy home, which is so cute, and I loved it. And that day just changed my entire life. Honestly, giving birth isn't that bad. Looking back on it, if you can tolerate the pain long enough to like go through the contractions and go and like actually push and give birth, then I don't think it's that bad. I wanted to do it without an epidural, but I don't think I would have been able to, so thankfully I did. My pregnancy was super easy. Thankfully, I literally thank God for getting me through my pregnancy, like stress and carefree. It literally was a easy pregnancy and a easy like labor and delivery, which is so nice and such a blessing. Alright, so that's gonna be the end of the video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Connect with me on all of my social medias. The links are gonna be down below in the description box and also on the screen. I forgot to mention last video, Legend does have an Instagram. His handle is legendp_. I'm gonna be putting that down below in the description box as well as on the screen. So make sure you stay connected with us on there, and yeah guys, okay, I think that's all I have to say. So bye.